Hello, everybody. I'm your host, Eric Bird, here at StopStrugglingNow.com. And today we're talking about bank and crypto runs have begun. Where is your money safe? That is number one, ladies and gentlemen. Is there anywhere we can put it at the bank in a crypto? No, not an exchange anymore. Take your money off. And we need to make more money because it's not making sense. Everything is going to continue to rise, ladies and gentlemen. So we got a lot to talk about tonight, including the FTX contagion continues. And welcome to the SSN Nation Friday night live stream. I appreciate you all being here and welcome. Stop struggling now. Gear check. And please like, subscribe, and click the bell below so you get the latest updates. Now, let's get to it. All right. Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen. Thank you so much for being here once again. But before we start, please share the videos. We have a couple of announcements to make. Number one, if you're doing pre-construction condos, villas, any project in the Dominican Republic or anywhere else, it doesn't matter. Even if you're in Miami, even if you're in Asia, wherever you're watching this from and you're interested in real estate, they are having Black Friday sales, or shall I say Black Friday deals, because everybody's not a sale like Conarock, 5% off whatever they're selling the units for right now, starting in a few days. Also, there's other locations in Cap Cana also doing Black Friday sales. And of course, Primavera for their lots and their villas, they have some sort of special sale. Now, it's always good to have Black Friday, but retail, not real estate, is generally what Black Friday is for. So if you're a member of the channel, one with the icon next to your name, starting tomorrow, there's going to be a code just for the members of the channel with the icon, like Laverne Penix, and they'll be able to get 30% off any of the gear for Black Friday sale starting tomorrow for a week. All right. On the StopStrugglingNow.com website, but only members with the icon can get in. And Laverne Penix is here, otherwise known as Mr. Cool, is in the house, and he brings his tagline, "Hello, SSN Nation. I hope everyone is doing well. Let's make some money." I received a notification in YouTube trailers. Beautiful. Thank you so much for being here in the SSN Nation Friday night live stream. And please, everybody, let me know if you received the notification and the trailer. That would be greatly appreciated. All right, let's see where we're going tonight, because this is going to be very, very interesting. Georges Charles, welcome to the SSN Nation Friday night live stream with the icon next to your name as well. And he says, yo, and he says, Eric, see if you can find the Primavera 4 discount. Oh, $5,000 discount at Primavera, ladies and gentlemen. All right. And by the way, if you mess around with Primavera, they give you 60 days to come up with your 10% down. I'm just letting you know, it's not like sign a contract 30 days, 40 days later, whatever. They're giving you 60 days, by the way. That's another one of their little Black Friday deals, especially for people with lots. And I don't know how much the lots cost, but it's going to be very, very interesting. Georges Charles, Eric, I'm still trying to find the website of the sale. Georges Charles, just hit up the realtor, man. Just say, hey, do I get in on the Black Friday deal? Don't worry about it. They'll hook you up. If it's for the 5,000 is actually for the discount on the villa, they'll hook you up. No worries. 60 days. Eric, where are you seeing this stuff? Georges Charles, Punta Cana Solutions. That's where you find them, man. Hold on. Punta Cana Solutions. But anyhow, just hit up the realtor unless you're going. It don't matter. Hit up the realtor. The 60-day thing is for the lots. I think it was for the lots. It might even be for the villas. All I know is everybody generally just ask your realtors or whoever you're going through whenever you're buying something. If you've bought something in the last 30 days, you should be asking for that Black Friday discount no matter where you are. Even in Miami, at Lofty Brickell, they have a Black Friday deal with a small little discount of some sort. It's crazy, ladies and gentlemen. This is what's going to happen when there's a slowdown in the market, when people are like grabbing their money out of banks. They're grabbing their money off of exchanges. So there's a little run. Crypto.com has a little run going on right now. And apparently they're able to stem the tide. But Genesis, Gemini, they had to change up a little bit, ladies and gentlemen. All right. So here we go. I'm going to go to CoinDesk just so you guys understand what we're doing, because we have a lot to talk about because we need more money. Luckily for us, we are in the place to be with the 2 number 1 business opportunities for 2023. And we already know about it. Ground floor opportunity to get in daily income in one, quarterly income and revenue in another. Awesome. All backed by real world. In fact, they're businesses that's going right now, making money. That's what we want to talk about all the time for going on forward. If it's dividend investments from stocks, the stock market was up today. I'm still trying to figure out how the stock market's up when all the indicators are down. This is incredible. But again, we know why. It's 1929 to 1931 going on right now. 1929, go down, all of a sudden goes up. So people start dumping some money back in. But now people are starting to get smart. Everybody here in the crypto space, you guys know what to do. Look at this on the screen here. All kind of red flags situations is occurring. Even more now. Sino Global now starts talking about we've had deep ties to FTX beyond equity investment. Can you believe this? They're an Asia firm, ladies and gentlemen. Suno holds many of the tokens hardest hit by unraveling crypto empire. This is crazy. He's holding worthless tokens. They now, if they leveraged anything, they also are going to have an issue. And then look what's next. Grayscale, because Genesis Global Capital, guess what? They have a situation with Grayscale Investments, and Genesis is having a problem, and it goes with Gemini as well. So if you have money on Gemini, I suggest you get your money out of Gemini. Genesis crypto lending unit is halting customer withdrawals in wake of FTX. This is their lending unit. The people who are staking and pooling, your money's locked right now by Genesis. Everybody else, you better take your money off exchanges, ladies and gentlemen, and put them in. I don't care if it's MetaMask. I don't care what it is. Anything but on an exchange is where you need to keep your crypto. Just like banks. Anywhere that you want to keep your money beside a bank, take out your money. I don't care. Take it out, ladies and gentlemen. We don't know what's going to happen. These hundreds of millions and these billions of dollars that these corporations invested in them, where are they going to get the replacement of those funds from? Remember, a bank can just take your money and just call it like, oh, we had a problem. All legal. And then you have to sit there and send letters into the FDIC and all the rest, and they're going to say, oh, I'm sorry, we can't help you. So just saying, pay attention to the news, and sometimes you might want to just safeguard yourself. Where can you put your money that's safe? Like the only place is like treasury bonds. Okay, 4%, 4.3, 4.4%, but that's not going to help you during inflationary times like this. So the only other thing is to start your own business, make an investment into some sort of business ventures. So then this way you can stay afloat and above the inflation levels. We haven't seen anything yet. What's going to happen over the course of this winter? What if there's a bad winter? That is the thing right there. More fuel, transportation costs is going to rise. If things get bogged down at airports and on the highways, it's going to be crazy. So this is why protect yourself over the next 2 to 3 months. That's what I'm trying to suggest, ladies and gentlemen. Don't be out here messing around. All right. Now, this ether staking, they want to give me some good news, whatever. The point of the matter is we're not staking anything. This is the point. After everything has happened, BlockFi mulling over bankruptcy. FTX has multiple businesses that people still don't even know about. I did not drop the subsidiary holding company until tomorrow because there's so many things that this guy and FTX, SBF and FTX company and Alameda that these guys are involved in, they're affecting worldwide. This is almost like 2008, 2009, where the Wall Street guys got a AAA rating and went across the world and said, hey, take these sorry loans, but we're calling them AAA and buy them off of for hundreds of millions of dollars. And then people found out they were worthless and all their money's gone. So this ruining of pension funds, ruining of teachers' pension funds and things like this from around the world already happened 13 years ago. It's happening again. All right. So think about that, ladies and gentlemen. Let me know if you guys are going to keep playing the merry-go-round. We luckily may have found, well, first of all, there's no luck involved. The DebtBox license, which is the DebtBox node, there's no luck involved. These guys are out here going, now they're in Ghana as of so it'll be morning soon there. It is morning probably, but it's morning. But nonetheless, they're over there handling business, picking out some acreage. On that acreage, agriculture, gold, natural gas, who knows what, because these guys are doing their scanner system of the acreage that they are planning on growing for the GROW token. Acres, a lot of them. I'm going to play the video that's 2 minutes and 41 seconds, but look here. FTX meltdown triggers FINRA into probing crypto. Okay, FINRA, that's nice. They can probe all they want. That's not going to help anything. But here's this. Binance sees record 138K BTC inflows as opinions differ on what Bitcoin price will do next. Ladies and gentlemen, Binance, CZ is not the savior here. I don't understand why you guys are messing around dancing with the devils. If you have Bitcoin and you're leaving it on the exchange, there's no reason. You might as well just put it on your wallet. In fact, just get a ledger or a Trezor. All right, either one. Put it in cold storage, MetaMask, like I said, I don't care. Put it somewhere, but do not leave it on the exchange. You can always swap, putting it on any of the cold wallets. You can swap, putting it even on MetaMask, but don't even leave it at Coinbase. Don't be fooled. Coinbase is no better. None of these exchanges, they have been living off of all the millions and billions of dollars sitting on their exchanges, and you guys don't know what they're doing with them. So at this point, the fact that Sam Bankman-Fried was able to do this for 1.5 years, 2 years, and people around him and in the crypto space didn't even bother to check, you know what that means to me? That means this is business as usual. That's what that means to me. Because how can nobody say anything? All the companies, all the BlackRocks, all the hedge funds, all the Sequoias, even the Asian. How is this possible? Even the Asian companies don't even check him out. Binance buys $580 million worth of the FLL tokens and said, oh, well, it's all good. Never bothered to even check on anything. I mean, Kevin O'Leary and his fund, he doesn't bother to check on anything. None of the Congress people check on anything. This is insane. So think about this. If they're not checking on this guy and they're loaning him billions of dollars, then what are all the other exchanges getting away with? I mean, this guy's walking around with an exchange that was second largest, basically $5 million to $10 million, or I'm sorry, $5 to $10 billion in volume every day. but Binance was up in the 30s. So it was a huge discrepancy, but nonetheless, they're giving this guy billions of dollars. And he had seed rounds of billions. So not only did he have seed rounds where people gave him 400 million, 200 million, 100 million, and it equals $2 billion, he was able to go out and say, can I borrow $1 billion? Can I borrow $1 million? I mean, it was just crazy. All his companies as well. Here's a token. My company's worth X amount. You guys have to understand. The run is going to continue. I don't know why people are dumping their Bitcoin on a Binance. CZ is not any different. All right. I don't really understand. You guys, listen to me. Just because I show you 6 or 7 wallets doesn't mean I show you 6 or 7 wallets and that's what I have in there. That doesn't mean anything. We don't know. There could be leverage against those. That's why it's sitting there. So you can show me whatever, just like you're supposed to show when you actually go out and you tell somebody, hey, I have a house, and you have a house that's valued at $700,000, but your loan value is $400,000. So you have $300,000 of equity. But when somebody goes and looks at your loan, they sit there and they say, oh, he has $300,000 of equity. But that doesn't mean you don't know that I have an insider deal with somebody who just said, okay, I'll give you $200,000 because I see you have this extra $300,000 in equity. I don't need to record it. I don't need to do anything because it's crypto. So you don't even know that there's a loan against. Just like I have that money and then I turn around and I tell somebody, hey, I'm going to go buy up your company. Let's say if it was $200,000. So now I sit there and tell somebody I just bought a company, and then I go see Wall Street and I say, hey, I own this company over here. Can I get a loan? All of it is thin air in reality. So all I'm saying, ladies and gentlemen, protect yourselves because this isn't over. Don't pay attention to the shiny objects because the stock market might rise or coins might start going up. Don't pay attention. The infrastructure for the downfall is still in place. All right. That's all I'm trying to say about this, because bank runs are happening in Europe. And what I mean is Credit Suisse. They're the second largest bank behind UBS in Switzerland. And they did risky maneuvers as well. And they won't let them fail. See, this is what I'm talking about. Capitalism for some of us, the OCs, us, but socialism for the rich. So how come we got to bail these guys out? Why can't they just fall like they're supposed to in a capitalist system? You file bankruptcy, somebody else picks up the pieces, your competitor steps in, or a company that's better suited under the finance obligations the efficiency moves forward. This is why in America we're falling so far behind, because they're weeding out the competition. The competition can be bought up when you have 0% interest loans. Just like in Europe, what happened in Europe, same thing in America. When they tried to go down to 0% interest and they were getting those cheap loans, now they can turn around and buy up their competition, and now there's no growth. So when people in America starts going, hey, how come there's nothing happening with EVs, solar panels, renewable energies, and why can't we get more efficiency out of certain things? There's a reason for all of that. All right, it's pretty simple. It's not that hard to figure out. When you buy up the competition and put them on the shelf, now all of a sudden you're still going to be top dog with hardly any innovation. Similar to what's happening if you ever pay attention to laptops and desktops, and you look at what was in a laptop and desktop 10 years ago and 5 years ago, and the same thing, quad cores, all this, the same thing is in, but they're charging more for the same thing. And all they did was add a little speed. Now, how is it that there's no innovations happening over a 5-year span when we're talking about computers and RAM and all the hard drives and all that? Why is there hardly any improvement like it used to be in 1980s and 90s? It was like every 6 months, somebody was surpassing their competition, because it was like, we need more speed, we need more memory, we need more this and that so our computers can run faster. Then all of a sudden, like 8 years ago, they said, hold on, why don't we just collude and slow this down? All right, we're going to be able to keep this chipset here for a little bit. We'll advance it a little bit, but we're going to raise prices. That's what's actually happened over time, because you're able to buy up your competition and put them underneath the blanket. Nobody knows about it. So therefore, this is the problem out here. All right. And there's going to be runs. So you don't want to be caught on any of these runs. Not necessary. You have no reason to hold your money on the exchange. The only reason you're going to go to an exchange, a lot of people do the pools, they do the staking and all that. No more. Forget about the 25%. That's high risk. Forget about the 10, high risk. Stop the high risk now, ladies and gentlemen. Go with something else. Let me know what you guys think. All right. I want to hear from you guys, because this is very serious. This is trillions of dollars that's about to be gone. This is people's future, because a lot of people just don't put in what they're supposed to. They don't put in the amount that says just put in what you can afford to lose. They don't do that. They're not doing that at all. I'm looking for some more information, but I guess I have to go back to CoinDesk for that. But all I'm saying is BTC 16.5, 16.6, XRP 37.38 cents, Ethereum $1,202. This is just insane. Crypto, now they want to come. That's funny. Just want to pay tax. We need rules. Hell no, we're not paying taxes. Okay, we are going to have to pay taxes. The tax implications of the FTX bankruptcy, that's never going to get paid. It's going to come out of our pockets, ladies and gentlemen. And this complete failure of corporate controls, this over here on the right, what investors and accountants and audits? Are you serious? Ladies and gentlemen, come on, stop. What audits? By the Metaverse company? Is that who you're talking about? But see, that's what I am actually talking about on Wednesday night. Let me hear from you guys. How many? Kevin O'Leary, the Canadian the Canadian Pension Fund, BlackRock, Sequoia, the Asian companies, the German company, I mean, the United States hedge funds, all of these companies, nobody actually went in and audited him and said, oh yeah, we'll give you, I'm going to put 400 million into you. I'll give you 200 million. I mean, nobody does this. So that's why I'm saying to you guys, you have to understand there's a us versus them situation. If it's not more prevalent, that's the way I've always looked at it. And that's the way that it is. All right. Look who else is in the house. We have the professor here. Welcome to the SSN Nation Friday night live stream with the icon next to her name. And it's the professor, ladies and gentlemen, AKA. And she brings her tagline, good evening, fam, with the heart, with the strength and the support. Yes, she'll help me out with this crypto logic and madness, because again, I look at it as us versus them. This is why us as the OCs, ordinary citizens, we can't be complacent out here, ladies and gentlemen. We have to take risk with our own money. We lose the money. Nobody's coming to bail us out for our risk, but yet you have this Bankman-Fried doing all this crazy stuff, and you have people all over the world trying to figure out if they can bail this guy out or bail out a portion of whichever companies, instead of just going, oh, we'll just treat him like an OC. But that's because of his pedigree. When you have your parents or law professors, Stanford, when you have your father's friend is like Gensler, I mean, this is insanity. Then you have Ellison, also friends. So this whole thing, and they're friends with congressmen and government officials. So it's interesting. The man hasn't been locked up yet. Everybody else on the planet would have been locked up, done already. But of course, we know there's two-tier systems with justice. But here's the thing. This is why us OCs, you got to get to that second tier, third tier, fourth tier, because the more money you have, well, you know what you can do then. If there's ever anything that comes up in a court of law, you can defend yourself and fight against it. They can't railroad you as easy when you have the real deal lawyers. But that's not the case, unfortunately, for damn near 60%, 70% of the population. So therefore, ladies and gentlemen, this is why we have to make more money. And we have opportunity. It's come. In the rings of fire, when they're burning down the streets, up pops Debtbox nodes out of nowhere and Cashflow NFT. Again, I'm going to keep talking about this, but first I have to mention something else. During this time, you guys, it's a recession. And if you have good ideas and you want to start a business, now is the time to start a business. All right? Because now this is when people really don't have that much money. If you can start a business now and get some revenues coming in this environment, when the economy gets better and picks up, then that means your business will grow even better at that time frame. So I always suggest, because we have a whole bunch of people that may have just left Twitter, who's sitting here right now going, hell yeah, I just left Twitter and I got my 3-month severance pay over a tweet. I was like, hell yeah, give me my freaking 50 G's or 60 G's you're going to owe me, and I'm going to start my own business. So here's the thing. I suggest, if you're working out of your house, everybody knows here, go to Opus Virtual Office. It's a link is down below. And what that means is you're not going to use your personal address. Let me give you guys a little something that's going on right now. You guys know that a lot of people yelp, scream, talk about voter fraud in America, which is literally non-existent. There's some people that try to do shady things. I mean, so what? But it's not like 20 million people or 10 million or 5 million or even 1 million are doing shady things. But the fact of the matter is, you have this element that says, hey, I need you to do IDs. I need you to do signature check. Well, see, in America, people don't understand when you mail in ballots, when you actually drop off ballots, what's the job of the Secretary of State and the registration? They actually match your signatures. So when people are going, oh, what's taking so long? Well, if you have 100, 200, 300,000 ballots dropped off, they have to match the signatures. Well, that's going to take some time. So that might take days, because there's other ballots you're counting, like when people are there at the machine. So you ask for check signatures. It takes 3, 5, 6 days. So if you're going to do that, why are you going to cry about other things? This is what I'm saying. You need your Opus Virtual Office. And why I went to that story is because there's a thing called Cure Your Voter Registration. So in other words, you drop off your ballot, you get your voter registration, it doesn't match. Guess what? The voter election office calls you and says, hey, you need to cure your ballot. Otherwise, we can't count it. So now, guess what? People find out that they're trying to cure, that you're one of the people that your ballot hasn't counted yet. Guess what happens? Because you can find election rolls and there's a way you can coordinate it. Now people are calling up their house. That's right. Calling up their house, going to their house, knocking on the door. Hey, who did you vote for? Go down and make sure you got your signature all handled. They're not election officials. When you run your business, this is the environment that we're living in this day and age. So if you run your business out of your house, so be it. Do what you got to do. But I say be cautious and use Opus Virtual Office or some other virtual office. But the benefits of Opus Virtual Office is because, again, they answer your phones, your business phone directly. Doesn't go to you. It goes to them. You are assigned an actual business phone number and a business fax number. The receptionist, when they answer the phone, they transfer it to whatever number you want. So it's just like an office. Then the mail that goes there is fine. They're in a commercial location. So therefore, they report to the credit bureau to help out your business credit. So you're in a commercial address. And if you ever have clients or ever need to have a meeting, they'll rent you the office space there. So you can actually go to the boardroom or rent an office out. $25 an hour is inexpensive in reality. Most of the time it's that. So that gives you, just that in itself is awesome. And then there's a couple other benefits, such as the mail. Of course, they'll forward it. The voicemail, if you don't answer and it goes to voicemail, then they'll send you a text and it'll be an email, and it'll be transcribed for you. So again, this is benefits. And yeah, it's $99 per month. But there's a code down there where the administration fee will be waived. And see that as well. But the point is, you need to be separate anyhow. The litigious states of America, you need to separate your business from your personal. You don't want them coming in saying, oh, yeah, his business is at his house. That means it's not a separate entity, because that'll be easily proved when they walk in and say, okay, where's your office? And you say, oh, my office is in my living room. And they'll be like, wait, but don't you use this living room for personal? They're going to be like, yeah, okay, well, we're going to pierce your corporate veil. There's a judgment against you for $2 million. So is your house free and clear? Oh, wait, you have 500,000 equity in your house? Okay, we'll attach a lien there. So all I'm saying is, ladies and gentlemen, protect yourself in this day and age. Things are going to get worse. People are looking for money from all kind of angles. So protect yourself business-wise. If you missed the video about holding companies, I suggest you go check that out. It's nothing major. I didn't get deep into it. I was just showing where the structure for a holding company and then your subsidiaries. Then I went to show you the structure of Berkshire Hathaway. And also I talked about Bankman Fried as well, and his structure of his freaking 30, 40 companies, 50 companies. I don't even know. There were so many damn companies under this guy. It's incredible. So I'm just saying, ladies and gentlemen, check yourselves out properly. Make sure. So Opus Virtual Office down below in the description. Well said. Opportunities upon us now. Exactly. And I'm going to speak of something because George Charles is here. Next year, economy will turn around. I don't know if it's going to be next year, but all I know is this. Home prices should continue to come down. They're increasing interest rates. So therefore, I wouldn't rush to think it's going to actually increase any better, because people are going to be in the save mode. It all depends on what's going to happen over the next 4 months. What I mean by that is, depending on how bad this winter is, if it's a transportation issue, if stores are not stocked properly, if there's gas not at the gas pumps, if there's something, another thing like that happens, and heaven forbid if it's a COVID scenario, if another thing like that happens, that means the economy is not coming back. And if the way these billionaires like Musk are acting, just firing, like, I bought your company with 7,500 employees, but half of them I'm getting rid of now. And then I'm telling you, hey, you guys don't want to show up and work 80 hours a week and then be in God mode or whatever the hell he's talking about, then you might as well leave and take your 3-month severance pay. And 75% of those people say adios. So I'm trying to figure out, how's this guy, he's going to run a company that previously had 7,500 employees and now they only have, what, that 50% was 3,700. 25% of that's only like 1,500 to 2,000 people are left. So I'm like, wait, how's this going to work? So all I'm saying is, these guys are laying off. Disney's laying off people. Facebook's laying off people. Granted, it's the tech business, but all over the map, there are layoffs. Retail stores, layoffs in the Christmas time environment when traditionally they hire people. What does this tell you? This tells you you could be one of the people that's going to be laid off. Do you have another stream of revenue coming in or two to offset how much you need? Think about it. This is the way of the world going forward. You're always going to need some passive income coming in. You cannot rely on a business being in business. I don't care if they've been in business for 50 to 100 years. There's a lot of 50 to 100-year businesses that are closed. Like I said before, who would have thought Hertz would have went bankrupt a few years back? Yeah, Hertz Car Company. All right, let's see what's happening. With this, I think he is bitter because they forced him to buy Twitter and he's purposely making them pay for it. George Charles, he's not making anybody pay for it. He bought the company for $44 billion and he didn't buy it all 100%. He leveraged, he borrowed against some of his stocks. He sold his stocks. He had Larry Ellison at Oracle buy a piece of it. He's got like another 5 to 10 other people that put in hundreds of millions of dollars here, $1 billion there. And then he had to sell some of his Tesla stock. And that's why Tesla stock went under $200. Laverne Penix, what were we talking about a few months back? Again, it appears everything's coming to fruition. Why buy when there's blood in the streets? I still say it's 1929 and 1930. Regardless, he fires the executive team. He had to pay them $200 million plus other severance packages worth, I don't even know what it was. It was crazy. He had to pay them. Now he's paying another 30 or 40% of his workforce. They're getting unemployment or their severance package from the first firings. This next firing, he's paying another few hundred. These people are getting paid $150, $200, $250, $300,000 a year. So when he starts talking about severance packages and there's lawsuits and he's paying billions of dollars, as it's going to turn out, to take a company that was only worth $10 billion at best. So the fact that he's ruining it, that's his problem. But here's my problem and your problem, ladies and gentlemen, because the bank run and crypto runs is because of this crap right here. He borrows money to buy something that's overpriced. So you're thinking we live in a capitalist society, but you know we don't. The rich live in a socialist environment. We live in a capitalist society. So I'm sure he's already went in to get his subsidies. I'm sure he's already trying to get a loan with the federal government because that's what he does with all of his businesses. All of them. He doesn't just come out of pocket and be like, oh yeah, I'm just going to spend this money and make it all work. No, we're paying for some of his crap. So that's why he's so cavalier, because he can be like, I don't care. I'm going to get another $3 billion from the government for this. They'll give me a tax cut or break or whatever for that. Oh yeah. And I'll just tell people they can get fired and I'll just pay them less when I replace some other people. That's how he operates. And he's not the only one. But the fact of the matter is that just tells you what you need to know. As long as you don't control your destiny, guess what? Somebody else is. So you're going to have to get out of this utopia about I'm going to work for somebody, make $200,000 a year. All's going to be good, because if you haven't learned anything thus far, just because you have a high-paying job doesn't mean you're going to be there for 25 years. All right. So that means in that time frame, while you're making the big bucks, you need to invest into something where it does go to zero, where you don't have any income coming in. All of a sudden, I mean, work, a W-2, all of a sudden you sit there and say, well, wait a minute. It's okay. I have this extra 100, this extra 500, this extra 2,000, this extra 5,000 coming in. So we still good, but you'll be able to save yourself. That's what we do here in the SSN Nation. In case you don't see the media SSN Nation gear, again, this is what we talk about here, ladies and gentlemen. Bank and crypto runs have begun. In fact, little do they even talk about, there's banks that are being bought. So I'm going to go to this right here, because you guys don't understand the mergers and acquisition of banks. While you're leaving your money in a bank thinking it's going to be good, it's not doing you any good. So what if they 3%? Why? It won't matter. Look at this right here. Look at this. This is mergers and acquisition. The U.S. mergers table below 1122. 2 bank mergers so far. But in the month of October, look at this. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22, 23. There's like 25 mergers. You see, behind the scenes, all these guys are consolidating, because alone, they don't really have all the assets sitting there. They've leveraged their assets. Derivatives, ladies and gentlemen, your money's in these banks. They're not merging just for the hell of it. They're not being bought out just for the hell of it. because you can get money from anywhere when you own a bank. Ask Bankman-Fried. He owned a bank. Yes, he borrowed $1 billion from his own bank. This is so outrageous. So all I'm going to say is this, ladies and gentlemen, you're going to have to pay attention, and we have the tools here. Even with my SSN lifestyle, it's been a little slow rolling, but we still have opportunity there for you. You can make money there. But first, let's start out with the other things. Check this list out. Look at this. I'll go back up because I didn't have it on the screen. But look at this. You can see the two here in November so far. But look here, 10/22. Look at all these banks. There's over 20 banks. Mergers, acquisitions. All right. Then look in September. Then look in August. Look at this. These are not the same banks, ladies and gentlemen. You probably didn't even realize how many banks there were in the United States. But all these guys are consolidating, taking their 100 million, 400 million, 1 billion in assets, putting them into the other larger bank, increasing their holdings. Why would you want to do that? Because I'm going to leverage some more of the customer's money that I'm not going to give them any money for. So there you go. Oh, Professor Auntie Val, keep an eye on one. Silvergate Bank. Exactly. There's one. That's right. Professor Auntie Val, always on top of the finance. She's got that right. So again, this is what's going down, ladies and gentlemen. Do not keep your money on exchanges. Do not keep your money in a bank if you can avoid it. I would highly suggest it, because here's the kicker. They start talking about this FDIC. Come on, don't fall for the FDIC. I'm going to tell you right now, some of these mergers and acquisitions, I'm involved in one right now. What they did was, I told some of you before, but some other people may be new here and have never heard this. What they did was, remember, banks have different portfolios. So in other words, they might have where you come in and deposit money. Then you'll say, hey, what about their investment arm? All right. So now you have a brokerage account over there. They're not the same thing as being at the bank. They're separate. So this is why Credit Suisse is able to sell off one part of their banking arm. So therefore, they can save their whole further banking arm. They have different divisions within the bank, like they could have a real estate division. We can have the brokerage division. So when you talk about acquisitions, sometimes they'll say, we'll take your depositors, but we're not going to take that damn real estate part, because real estate's going down. We don't want that. And the brokerage account, well, that's under different jurisdictions, so maybe we won't take that. But thank you so much for adding depositors into our bank. We'll take that portion. So when they talk about these mergers and acquisitions, that's what happens. And in my case, it's been a bad year, because a bank merged with someone else. The brokerage account, you know what they said? Hold up. We're going to keep the brokerage account. Customers call up, hey, I need to get my money. They're saying just what the crypto banks are doing. Hold on a second. We just doing a merger and acquisition. We can't allow any withdrawals or anything right now. Locked up. Lawsuits ensue, which means locked up even more. So this is what I'm talking about. This is what's happening in the back rooms, back doors, with these little, or even well, they're not little when you have a few billion under management, but it's not like Bank of America, Wells Fargo, anything like that. So the fact of the matter is, they take your money and hold it up based on their need. So therefore, you have to make sure that you take yourself out of those equations. So I've always been one not to leave my money in a bank in the first place, because Bank of America and Wells Fargo stole money from me 30 years ago. So it's that simple. So I had never left my money in a bank of any substantial amounts. I'd be like, I don't really care, because I put monies in other vehicles that gives a return on investment. So I'm like, whatever happens, I don't have to deal with the bank stealing money, even though you can steal a few thousand. I don't really care about that. but I'm not keeping money in the bank. I'm like my grandmother with the Great Depression. All right. In case you guys are new here and haven't heard one of my stories, I'll give you a story. We're 45 minutes in. Please smash the like button. And if you like what I'm talking about so far, stay tuned for more. But please subscribe to the channel, click the all notification bell, and share the video with other people, because some other people may not understand what's going on and they're going to be caught off guard. Just like right now, people could be caught off guard by Genesis and Gemini and BlockFi. Sound the alarm. Money shouldn't be on these platforms. All right. So all I'm saying is, my grandmother, I was a kid one time, my grandmother, they're sitting out on the porch with 3 or 4 other friends, and I'm out front and I'm just hanging out around them, talking, interrupting like a little kid would do. And one of their friends came from work and they walked up, and I'll never forget this because my grandmother, my parents would always tell me, hey, make sure you save some money. So in my head, save some money meant money goes in a bank, right? And I'm not thinking I'm supposed to keep it in the house. So this lady walks up and she just, yeah, I just got off work. I'm sorry, I guess they had some sort of rendezvous time, and she said something like, I'm sorry, I just now got off work and I had to run to the bank and drop off my money. My grandmother and 4 or 5 other adults there said, whoa, what do you mean you went to the bank and left your money in there? You're not supposed to leave your money in a bank. And I'm sitting there like a little kid, and this is why it always stood out to me. I'm sitting there like I couldn't understand. I'm like, what are they talking about? Why are they freaking out about leaving their money in a bank? Well, see, I didn't know that they lived through the Great Depression, where banks closed up. Bank holiday. Can't get your money for not only one day, not only 2 days, weeks. But I didn't realize that's what happened. And I'm sitting there like, wow, this is weird. Why are they why was their reaction so vitriolic like that? I was just like, Jesus, they were reading the Woman of Riot Act. What are you doing? That's stupid. I was like, wait, hold on. What's going on around here? This is the situation that banks have always been in, except now the Federal Reserve and the government will bail them out. It should have happened in 2008, 2007, 2009, 2010. Should have happened during the savings and loans, which they did go by the wayside, but they bailed out a lot of them too. So banks have never been fully liquid. They take your money, they borrow, they leverage with your money. So again, this is why you don't want to keep your money. And that's why you always want to have passive income coming in, because if you get a job layoff, if you don't like your boss, if you have an Elon Musk type boss who walks in and says you're fired because you're thinking, I got a cushy job, there's no way they're going to fire me, I'm over the head, and me and my team are for this important project, for this situation our company wants us to do, I'll be here for life. No, wrong. You could be gone. Just like what Elon Musk is doing is what all employers think about when there's a recession. They're going to fire you first. So how do we get that extra money, ladies and gentlemen? Well, there's certain different ways you can do it. We've been talking about this for 4 years here because I've talked about real estate, but we talk about real estate because it's an evolving, investing, business opportunities are ever evolving. So 2 years ago, 3 years ago, we start talking about pre-construction because it was so cheap in certain locations around the world where you can lock in a price, and then 2 years, 3 years later, you win because the price increased. So that's what's happening. Everybody who bought 2-3 years ago, even now, you're still going to win. You're going to win more if you had bought a year or two back with equity. But the point I'm trying to make about that is you're able to have choices, because if you own real estate, then you could say, hey, I'm going to rent it out. So then you have revenues coming in, and that revenue coming in can pay for where you live. All right. And then if you get more than one, now you have more than enough revenue for you to get paid for where you live. That's what you want. So then if you want to go get a job, now it's so much easier, less stress. You go to your work, you do your job, the best of your abilities, you're good. And so again, Elon Musk walks in talking this crazy, or any boss walking in talking crazy, you're looking at them like they're crazy because the job isn't actually needed. And that's the best position that you want to be in because you want to live a long life, right? You want less stress. That's what you do. All right. So real estate is one way that you can do it. But don't make no mistake about it. Don't listen to these people in the YouTube streets who claim things such as most billionaires and millionaires came from real estate. That's not true. That's not number one. That's not number two. That's not number four, number five, or number six. You guessing what number one is? Finance. Where else can you level up based on leverage so fast with thin air? Financial industries. This is why the billionaires class has a lot of people in the finances, meaning hedge funds, owning businesses, because there's stocks involved. That's why everybody heard of Musk, Bezos, Gates, all these guys that own companies, because their stock value and their company value is worth the billions. All right. So these guys are far ahead the real estate guys, because real estate, you need capital. The less money you have, you can't buy real estate. Right. So therefore, that's why you should go business first, passive income first, get that rolling. Then you can leverage your way into real estate if that's your game. But your business is more valuable, actually. I have a chart where I actually show when a person's net worth is like 100K, it's in their home. But when you start getting up to $1 million and over, all of a sudden they have multiple businesses, which means multiple streams of revenue are coming in, and the house, the value of their house shrinks compared to their wealth, because the house isn't the most valuable asset, because it's not an asset, because actually you pay for it. Money comes out of your pocket to pay for a house. That's why it's better to have a business that pays for it. And businesses come in different forms. So when we start talking about the opportunity for crypto, and we talk about an opportunity for stocks, and those type of opportunities come where you can actually make dividend investing a thing, but it's over time. It's going to take you a lot more time when you're investing in the stock market. So how do we get something that goes boom, boom, boom in real time? Well, what you do is you have to be on the forefront of something. So let me give you an example, because we have those situations right now with the crypto space, although it's volatile, although it's risky, but there's two companies. One is Cashflow NFT. And by the way, since you guys are still here, the Cashflow NFT, noon tomorrow, I'm going to be running a live stream because they have a special announcement. Cashflow NFT is actually the marketing arm, a membership that is involved with Miracle Cash and More stores. The profits are shared with the NFT. That's how it works. They actually have stores, licensed and regulated, that you can walk into. So every 3 months, they give you part of the profits: ATM machines, merchant processing, any loans that they do inside the store. They have an exchange for the transaction fees. They share that with you. And there's several more items that they share with the NFT holders. Now, the beauty of all that is that potentially is brand new and is brand new. There will be no other company doing this in the next 2-3 years. So they have a first mover advantage. They're going to open up many more stores in Germany. They're in Germany now. Many more stores in Cyprus. They have stores in Cyprus now. They have 3 of them, 2 of them, 3 of them. The third store is going to be open soon. They have an Amsterdam store in Holland. So there's revenue coming in from there. So everybody who has an NFT for those countries, guess what? They have money coming in every quarter from the profits, because it's not based on just the store. It's based on the POS systems. They're based on the merchant processing fees. It's based on the ATM machines. It's based on the people coming in the store using some of their service fees. There's all kind of fees, and that just means that puts you in the position of not having to really make money based on traditional business selling a product. They're just getting fees based on a swap, an exchange, helping people put fiat money into their exchange. There's a fee. They're sharing that fee. It's beautiful. That's what we want to hear. They have an insurance product to help landlords. We want to hear that type of stuff, but this is brand new. So if you want to get into where you can possibly make money quicker than having to wait the 20 years, this is how you speed it up. You either have to start your own business or you have to invest in something that potentially can blow up. So now you have to figure out, is it worth my risk? And that's where you're at, ladies and gentlemen, because if you think a government's actually out here trying to save your ass, forget about it. You're just a number to them that they can tax. So if you want to get into where the big boys play, then you should invest or try to get into something that can jump off quicker than 20 years. Something faster than a 10-year wait, because anything can happen in 10 years. Hell, that little missiles that went over Ukraine and hit into Poland, in any other environment, if it didn't hit that farm and it hit some government building, this could potentially have blown up the whole China, Eastern, Western, Europe could have had a problem right now. Because once you had, Poland's part of NATO. So there would have to be a response. So again, this could have went a different way. So there's no protection. You don't know what's going to happen around the world. So you're going to have to figure out, I'm going to have some investments here, some investments here. You're going to have to figure out many different areas. It's a global environment. And with crypto, you can actually move money all over the world. But you can move money all over the world anyhow through the Swift coding. But all I'm saying is you need to diversify now. And that's what we do here, ladies and gentlemen, in case you're new. And that's why I'm talking about the Miracle Cash and more. But tomorrow, don't miss the noon. I actually know a little bit about it. I'll give you guys something like this. If you buy X amount of NFTs, then they have a deal that, get this, the NFT that you're buying is basically a membership for the UK. So the stores, the ATMs, and all the rest that I mentioned is for the UK. But if you buy X amount of NFTs, I don't remember the number, but that's why you need to check out tomorrow. They might have changed it. They're going to have a presentation for it. And they're going to give you part of another country. It might be Cyprus. It might be Spain. You might be able to get into their pool over there. They're setting something up. It's going to be awesome. So this is also another reason. And can you imagine being able to get a check for a few thousand every month because you did something now? And then next year, you're getting a few $1,000s because you did something now. That is actually what you want to do. We want to do future investing, future ROI. We don't want the 1% per day, 3% per day, 3% per week type of stuff where you can't tell me the tokenomics. We believe you. It's a startup. We'll invest. Forget about that. I want stores. I want licensed. I want regulated. I want to see DebtBox in Ghana. In fact, I'm going to do the Ghana thing right now for the DebtBox node. This is not cash flow, but tomorrow at noon Eastern time, I'm going to run the Zoom. I don't have the Zoom address yet, but I'm going to put the Zoom on our channel here because in that way, everybody can watch it later. And so if you miss it, it's going to be noon Eastern time tomorrow. All right. So you don't want to miss that. That's for cash flow NFT. Now, there's a link down below. And I might as well just tell you, the NFT costs $5,000 for the UK. But we have several ways that we can make it work because you can actually become a free affiliate with Cashflow NFT. And if you refer 10 people, they give you, or one person, they give you $500 for every person that buys an NFT. So you do it 10 times. Well, then you got your $5,000. Also, to buy an NFT. Also, if you do it 10 times, you're in the global pool. They're predicting each share of the global pool is going to be $2,000 to $3,000 a month. So there's two ways you can do that. And then we have our own opportunity, the cash flow NFT 5,000 business opportunity as a group. You can put in $250 minimum and 250 increments. So 250 or 750 or 1,500, whatever the case is, that's what you can put in. And you can use your debit, credit, PayPal, or you can use USDT, but that's on the checkout. But down below in the description box, you'll find the cash flow NFT 5,000. That's the group opportunity. Or if you want to buy it outright for 5,000, there's only 400 and around 80, 460 NFTs left. Somebody bought a hell of a lot of them recently. All right. So all I'm saying is that's because they wanted to get into that global pool. Because if somebody's getting $2,000 or $3,000 per month from a one-time investment that has nothing to do with the store money coming in every quarter, now you're understanding where somebody's like, well, wait a minute, if I'm getting that and then I get another 4,000 or 5,000 every quarter or more, that's going to be substantial over the long run. The more ATMs they put out, the more revenues. The more stores, the more revenues. The more commercials and people walk in off the street, the more revenues. All NFT members, they're going to receive residual income, passive income from a one-time investment. Think about it. But here we go. I'm going back to the debt box, ladies and gentlemen. They're in Ghana right now. Here's Jason, who's sitting there. He's a founder. They're in Africa, and he's going to give a little talk about this for 2 minutes, 2 minutes, 41 seconds. So get your pen, pad, and paper, record, do what you need to do, because this is another opportunity for you. You're letting it sleep. I'm going to tell you right now, we had already done an XPLR license, and it was $1,250, August 13th. Here it is, November 18th. So August, September, October, November, 3 months. Guess what happened? Because they have the token and because they haven't burned anything yet, because it's a satellite scanning system, can you believe 3 months already, if you go by ROI, has returned its full ROI? All right? Think about that. They still can burn tokens from the profits that they receive. So when they get their royalty money, they go and buy in the open market the tokens, then they burn them permanently. All right, so that reduces the supply. 3 months. And the first month, I got to tell you, it was around $65 is all the rewards were for the first month, because it's mining. It mines and it rewards every 24 hours. So 7 days a week. So I was thinking, okay, 65, 70, when they do something and they, like halving, or when they buy the tokens off of royalties, okay, maybe the next month it'll be 90 or 100. But no, we opened it up like a month and a half, 2 months later, and next thing you know, it was like, wait, what's this $500? It actually changed, the token price changed from 0.3 zeros and a 5 to like 0.1 cent, 1.5 cents. So that automatically increased the value of the token. And because we were mining all this time, 10,000, 15,000, 20,000 tokens was mined. Now all of a sudden the value, when it increased all those thousands of tokens, whoa, it adds up. Next thing you know, you open up the thing and it said $595, $600. And I was like, how did that happen in 30 days? It was because of the 2 zeros got missed, and then it went up to 1.5 cents or whatever it was. Now it's up to 2 cents. 3 cents it hit the other day, I believe it was. So that means all those thousands of tokens, not just 2 tokens or 5 tokens or 100, but now 20, 30,000 tokens, all that little extra 1 penny means a lot. So that's what the value of the mining is. So you have to understand the debt box nodes is very, very valuable, and they're not even expensive. That's the other thing. They're $2,500. No, 2,250 for the XPLR. That's a satellite scan, but that's not the thing. There's a grow token that they're going to mention that has to do with agriculture. That's $2,500. There's a gold token that's $1,500. There's an aluminum bauxite token that's $2,250. So natural gas token, well, that's as of today is $7,500. But listen to what they have to say, because this is they're doing exactly what I'm trying to do here, help people out. And that's what I love about this. And I can get behind anybody that's trying to help people out. Check this out.
So we are here in Tamale, and we are out in the farmland. And this is the land that DET supports with our grow token.
Correct.
So how does DET directly support these different farmers? How does that tie together?
So right now, this is equivalent to about 25,000 acres of property. They have capped out. They are the only organically certified farms in all of Ghana. So the export for soy and sunflower seeds and some of the other crops, they can start expanding through, but they don't have the property to do so. So GROW will come in and help with infrastructure. GROW will come in and purchase another 10,000 acres of property here and bring in more heavy equipment and build at least 3 more processing facilities for that 10,000 acres. That will allow them to basically put on more workers and increase the revenues coming through. Those more revenues, we get more royalties for it. Those royalties then go to the co-op, and we basically get paid from the co-op.
One of the things that I've been the most fascinated about is, we talk about DET. DET stands for Decentralized Eco-Friendly Blockchain Technology. And I don't think that we understand the E part of how much they're doing environmentally here in Africa. I mean, you guys are rooted here.
Very much.
And truly making a difference in these communities. I don't think that people realize that by buying a grow license or buying many of our Explorer licenses or any of the projects, they really are supporting Africa and the communities and the people through employment, thousands of jobs.
Tens of thousands.
Tens of thousands.
Yes, our goal is basically for the year of 2023 is that we'll actually support 10,000 jobs alone here in Ghana. That's going to be not only for the GROW, that's about 3,500 jobs, but for silver and gold, it's about another 3,000 jobs, and the rest of it will basically be going into the aluminum and the oil and gas sector here. But 10,000 jobs total will be gold. I believe we'll exceed that probably by June or July at the current pace. But there's always opportunities to expand here in Africa. It's one of the richest countries still in the world. And there's so much opportunity here, not only to expand DET box, but also expand the way people live and giving back.
It's beautiful. Show you around here real quickly. Thank you, Jason. I appreciate it. Give you just a tour of where we are at.
Give us a quick 10 seconds of what we're looking at.
Beautiful.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, see what we're talking about here? This is an awesome situation. I love their idea. I love what they're doing. And this is when oftentimes we're not saying that it's 100% going to work, but it's going to work if you actually have partnerships, if you actually are part of the process. This isn't just some figment of imagination, right? This isn't some FTX token out of thin air, and then you sell enough of them and they have a value, and then really they don't have a value, right? This is oil. This is agriculture. This is farming. This is gold. This is silver. This is platinum, palladium, natural gas, water, commodities. So the DET box, it's called IX Global, is down below if you actually want to buy one of these nodes. All right. Or you can search the channel, and there are other videos about the DET box node, crypto meets commodities. You'll see Zoom calls. You'll see some other things as well if you're interested in it. But this, again, is future-proof yourself. Similar thing I've talked about before with EV vehicles. That's simple. We know EVs are coming. So why wouldn't you invest in electric vehicle stocks while they're down? Tesla, which I actually haven't looked at, it was under 200. I'm pretty sure it probably still is. But okay, I just have to point something out real quick. I'm going to go to Tesla. Let's see. Does anybody, in fact, I'll just do this. I won't take it. It's at 180. So it closed at 180 today. 180 and 19 cents. So there you go, Laverne Penix. Is 180 low enough for you to buy some of that Tesla stock? I find it very interesting. In fact, I'm going to show you guys something. This is just so, it's just crazy. I pulled up Tesla stock. The reason why Tesla stock is actually doing this action is because he's sleeping at Twitter. He's a CEO and he's hanging out at Twitter. This is crazy. So this is why his stock, people are like, hold on. And actually some of the board members are like, what's going on, man? You don't have nothing to do. I mean, wait, what are you doing? 52-week low, it just hit 176. Must have been down there, 177.04. So sometime intraday it must have did, or yesterday, who knows? But the fact of the matter is, this is at its 52-week low. And part of that is because he's sitting over here at Twitter and doing all this craziness. And you have to start saying, wait, what's happening here? That's just a freaking social media platform. It's like, hey, we have bigger fish to fry over here. We have competition nipping at our heels. And if you have any input, please let us know. But I want to show you guys something that is very, very interesting. So when you're in business, you guys think about something. It's not where you start in your business. You can come a long way. But you notice the founders here. You see this guy, Elon Musk. You see some other people. You guys know that Elon Musk was not a founder? I bet you guys didn't know that. He wasn't. So the interesting thing about it is he's parlayed his brand and his name into larger than life, even though the guy has talent. I'm not going to say he doesn't. All I'm saying, though, is he wasn't really a founder, just like Bill Gates didn't really write code, right? Didn't make the Windows. He was able to just go buy it from some guy. So all these guys took advantage of something that just was at their disposal. They were in the right location, looking for the right deal, talking to the right people. So you have to put yourself in that position, is what I'm trying to say. All right. So go look at the story about Elon Musk. There was actually two other guys that actually founded it, but he did some investment talking to them. And then he got them to make him a founder. And then he's forever kept that title, but he wasn't really a founder. But the point I'm still making, though, it doesn't really matter about that, but I like giving out stories. But the fact of the matter is, he was in the right place and saw the vision of electric vehicles. So therefore, he went for it, and he had other partners as well. They were still there for a year or two, whatever, but they put it in motion. They still had their trial and tribulations, not even profitable for like freaking 10, 12, 15 years, whatever it was, right? So again, you have to put your money to work in the right location, or your time and energy, to reap the rewards. And the rewards might not come until 5 years later, 3 years later, 2 years later. So it's rare that you have opportunities with two companies. This is like eBay in 2000. And I would be telling my friends, hey, stop selling in that those nickel and dime newspapers. that used to charge people like, I don't know, something crazy, $120 a month or whatever it was, or the Magic ads, which was a little a penny newspaper type thing that used to penny saver. Some people might have heard that. And my friends looked at me like, what do you mean? And I was like, hey, I said, I don't understand what you don't get. There's a company that's called PayPal. People can buy on eBay, and all you have to do is put something on there for sale. And they do promotions all over the place. So you can sell anything. So if you have your business, your product, you can sell stuff on there. And they were like looking at me like, what are you talking? I said, that's the future. You don't have to have a merchant processing account. You can go through PayPal now. That means everybody can play. You don't have to go down and get a business license. You don't have to get an office. You don't have to open up a business checking account. You can just sell your items on eBay. And you don't have to pay $120, $150, $300 up front for advertising and not knowing if you're going to get anybody to buy. In this case, it's reverse. If somebody buys, then you pay a fee. So I was like, this is beautiful. It's free. And they would look at me like I'd lost my mind. Well, I went forth. They went to go work for Montgomery Wards or something. And I'm sitting there like sitting at the pad, just selling stuff. Go to an auction, because back then auctions there was no Alibaba. There was none of that. There was still Asia products, but you're not going to go buy Asia products without knowing if it sells, right? But the same rules applied now. Same thing that people do on Amazon, where people say, hey, I'm going to buy something. Okay, let me go see Amazon. Let me go see on eBay. So let me see how much it's selling for. Okay, I can buy it for, 10 or 15% of that price. So that means I could enter this and make great profits. Well, same rules applied, except back then it wasn't that easy. There was no real internet to source out materials and products. So you actually had to be innovative, like the liquidation houses right now, the pallet liquidation houses. Some people are innovative. They go get products there. Other people are sitting there saying, okay, I'll get the pallets, but on my day at Walmart, I have a scanner system now. So I can scan the clearance items at Walmart and find out something that I could buy for $10 is selling for $90 on Amazon. Wait a minute, hold on. I think I need, how many of these you got in the store, right? The PlayStations, right? $199, $249, $299. But because their supply is short, how many of these can I? Oh, you can get 20 of them? Give me 20 of them. And then the same thing back in the day. Come out on eBay, 20 of them. Sell them for $500. Bought them for $199. So same things that you can do is just a different era. Now this era, we have something called crypto. They tokenized it. Now we have another frontier that's opened up. And again, your entry fee to get in, there is one. All right. So with the cash flow NFT, it's $5,000 or less, because there's other ways you can get that $5,000 NFT. Deadbox node could be as low as $1,500 or less, because $1,500 is for the gold license. Or you can, like I said, because we're SSN Lifestyle, SSN Nation, there's a way our group opportunities, you can get in and pay $250 and get a piece, your percentage of whatever the price is, right? That's what you get. So all I'm saying is you have to be in the right place at the right time. All right. So Laverne Penix, Mr. Cool says, I DCA into Tesla and Amazon weekly. All right. He's doing the damn thing. He's been going down. He's been doing the DCA, and I can't be mad at him. I can't be mad. I'm only giving my advice. Like I said, 1929 to 1931. That's what we're in. And don't forget, we were here. I remember it was split 303. Then it dropped to 280. And I kept saying, and I'll say it over and again, why catch a falling knife? So those bullets here's the thing. It's not against Laverne Penix. Here's the thing, though. Some people will say, I'll do DCA, which there's nothing wrong with that, right? The price is dropping. So we go from 300 to 280, 280 to 250, 250 to 225, 225 to 200. But all those bullets that was expended at the other levels, if you didn't expend all of that at those other levels, you would have all that and you could buy more at the 180. And if you would have caught it at the 177 level, and it could even drop further. That's the other thing. So you could have saved some bullets and bought, I don't know what the equivalency would be, but all I'm saying is there could be a difference between a few hundred shares over the time because you DCNA and depending on whatever you're buying it at. So all I'm saying is, but if you believe like me that it's 1930, 1929, and 1930, 31, then I'm looking for more falling to happen. So I'm sitting on the sidelines for most things, except for those dividend investments, the ORCs, the AGNCs, the I'm missing one, PSEC, trying to think the other one, IEP. All of these, if you have them all combined, they're presently around 15% return. If you had all of those I just mentioned. Okay, get your print pads and papers ready, right? Okay, because if you've been here 1 hour and 21 minutes, this is future proofing yourself, so to speak, as long as they give us our dividends, right? And because these stocks have crept up, that means the dividends now are a little less. But here goes 18%, ladies and gentlemen. This is ORC, 18.59% for everybody on podcast. So I had to give a little dividend love. All right, that's 18.59% for O as in orange, R as in Robert, C as in Charles. All right, so that's one. Let's go with here. I'll go with this one here. Let's go with the Icon. Icon Enterprises, 15.43% dividend, ladies and gentlemen. Okay, how do you like that? I like it. All right. Now, let's go with something else. We'll go with JP Morgan, JEPI. J is in Jerry, E is in Eric, P is in Paul, I is in India. That's going to be around 10%. They're $55.59. They don't put in their yield here, but they give out $5.78 per year. So you can figure out what the yield is. I'm not going to figure it out right now, but what you do is you divide $5.78 divided by $55.59. That gives you the yield. That should be almost 11%. So when you start doing 11%, 15%, 18%, my goodness, you're around 14%. When all three, but let's go with, let me see. I did JEPI. I did ORC. I did I'm missing a few, but PSEC is going to be around 10 to 11% as well. P is in Paul, S is in Sam, E is in Eric, C is in Charles, 9.47%. So, and then I have one more for you, which people already know around here. AGNC. Let's see where they're at. It's in double digits. Let's see how far in double digits. 15.77%, ladies and gentlemen. So that combination gets you close to 15%. Dividends and AGNC, PSEC, ORC gives you dividends every month. The other ones give it at like every quarter, every some 6 months, but nonetheless, 15% return on the combination of three of those. You could be in the 16.5 to 17% range if you just pick three: AGNC, ORC, and IEP. That gets you into 17% return. Is there something else you need to do? Yes, you're going to leave your money in a brokerage account. So Brokerage accounts are different than bank accounts. That's the accounts that people want to hold on to. All right. Banks usually don't liquidate those. But nonetheless, I'm just giving you guys something to think about. I do this every other live stream. These are the ones I generally talk about, but I'm going to show you something else that I've talked about before just to go look. Refi is going to be a little hot topic. This is another REIT. They've been 12.13%. Refi is just what it says, REFI, 12.13. So once again, ladies and gentlemen, nobody minds getting their 15% return, because when we talk about real estate, a lot of you are sitting around buying into the, I'll just say it, Cardone Capital, right? How much you getting back? 5% on your money? How much you get back? Oh, wait, hold on. Oh, sorry, suspended. Sorry. No, you're getting back suspended maybe. 5%, 6%, 7%? No. But your money's locked. You can't withdraw it. And it doesn't have nothing to do with Cardone Capital, but it's for anybody that does these type of Fundrise. Same thing. Your money's locked. So you're putting your money in, earning 5% when you could have been earning 12, double the amount. You double the amount of your earnings every month or every year. That adds up after 5 or 6 years. Think about it. All right. You get $100 per annual return for 5 years when you could have been getting $200 and then $400, then $600 because you're leaving it to reinvest. That's a whole different ball game when you have, $2,000 versus $500. That's just crazy, right? So when you think about it, it sometimes makes sense to park money in certain other locations. That gives you a return rate. And speaking of parking, I'm going to go here. I just go with the safest just because we're talking about you need to make more money. I'm just going to go with the safest. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to over to the CM just so we can see what the treasury bonds are. Because generally when there's a bad economy, people throw their money into gold, silver, and also treasury bonds. Oh, and look at here. Elizabeth Holmes gets 11 years, as she should. Let's go to the bond market, shall we? Let's see what the bonds are doing. So they could be around 4%. So these are the safest. So if you can get 4%, wait, what happened? Okay, that didn't go well. Let's go here. If you can get 4% return, 4.3, 4.2, 3.9 for 2 years, 1 year, here we are, 2 year, 4.5 is one hell of a return for being the safest thing on the planet. It's the safest investment you can do is pretty much these treasury bonds. So that's a 2 year at 0.3, but look, the 1 4.7 and the 6 4.6. That's about the sweet spot, ladies and gentlemen. So I'm just giving you all the stuff that you need. Here's some tools you should consider if you're trying to park money in certain locations. Instead of leaving it at the bank, you could have returns coming in where these bonds are safer than what's at the bank, in my opinion, and they don't give you 4.5 or 4.6 or 4.7. All right. They give you 3 point, maybe 2.5, but not 4.6 or 4.7 or 4.5. So your sweet spot, 6 months, 1 year max, because these things could go up too. And it's like, they can, because we need more. The money is up, and why they have to stop the economy. Okay, we're background here. I can't get off the screen. I see. It says wait. That situation. Then I see something back. Oh, but topics you want to speak again. Crazy. All right. I'm back. Funny stuff. All right, ladies and gentlemen, we're 1 hour, 31 minutes in. And if you're new here, sometimes I run these little, well, I guess now I'm calling them commercials because we do have an ssnlifestyle.com product. So I'm going to play, I guess I'll play this one.
Come on, come on.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, what's your why? A lot of people always want to travel all over. A lot of people want to have that vacation type lifestyle. Well, you have to set it up. And the best time to set up one is when the money is tight, when it's low, when you set up something that can actually work. When money is tight and when the economy is bad, sometimes you blossom a lot faster. That's just the nature of the economy and the way the world moves. So that's why put yourself in position over the next 6 months. And luckily, we have a couple of opportunities here and then some, because more things are going to come along and we'll be able to jump into them that make sense. All right. No more high risk maneuvers. The high risk maneuvers are over. Have to go back to normal type of thinking. Slow, steady, and if you can find something that could potentially pop up, okay, take a little risk, but only put in what you can afford to lose. And that applies to stock markets, real estates. That applies to everything. All right. So just keep that in mind. Now, these bank runs and crypto runs are going to continue, but don't worry. Put yourself in position. Take your money off the exchanges. Put them in a cold wallet. Even a MetaMask, I don't care, just as long as it's not an exchange. Coinbase is a Fed bank. I mean, a Fed entity as far as I'm concerned. So they're no better than anybody else. All right. So keep that in mind. Now, Black Friday. Black Friday members that have the icon next to their name, members of the channel, you get 30% off on the gear. All right. Black Friday, only members with the icon and they know where to go to stopstrugglingnow.com, but they already have the code under the community tab and it starts tomorrow. All right. The other thing that's coming up, speaking of Black Friday, unstoppable domains. In case you don't know what that is, let me go show some people. Crypto domains. These are .crypto, .nft, .wallet, .bitcoin. Your name, get it while it's hot. But on November 28th, 2-for-1. That's right. You heard me. 2-for-1, ladies and gentlemen, for Unstoppable Domains. Now, some people might not have heard of Unstoppable Domains. The link is down below. And I'm showing you my back office, SSN Nation, SSN Lifestyle, EricBird.crypto, NFT, Stop Struggling Now.NFT.crypto. All right. So what we're going to do is go over here and Ladies of Poker 101A .nft. Now, when we did a photo shoot, once again, ladies and gentlemen, talk about repurpose. I got to talk about this before I get into Unstoppable Domain. Some of you already know I used to play poker. And at the time, there were some entities I was involved in and created. One of them was Poker 101A, Ladies of Poker 101A. We did a photo shoot in Vegas at South Point Casino and at the Grand Desert Resort. That's where the photo shoots were. And carte blanche at the casino, carte blanche at the resort. And it was never published because there was going to be a calendar, never published, never anything. And because I was the boss, that means I had everybody sign off. So I have full control, the rights and everything. So back in the day, we had a fallout with the online poker situation because the United States government blocked us. So that kind of went down. So there was no reason to, because it was an online entity. So there was no reason to, put it out then. And then lo and behold, in the last 3 years, NFTs come out. Those pictures can now be used as NFTs and changed up a bit because, as you know, they're pictures, digital format even back then. And now they can have different backgrounds. We can change them up so the NFTs could have a little value. And that's what's very interesting. Whatever you produce, do not throw it away because ultimately you never know what's going to happen. There was no whiff of NFTs, let alone Bitcoin at the time. So now there's a way to monetize it even more. And the reason I haven't brought them out yet is because the NFT market is still growing, because you want to have the royalty feature, which is something people have talked about. And so the reason I wanted to do it was because I'm not keeping the funds. I'm going to actually have the royalties go to the women or the women's families, if any of them passed away, but none of them have. But I'm just saying that's the idea. And how cool is that you'll be able to do that in this environment? And it's new, right? So when you have an unstoppable domain and you can actually have your name, your business, your likeness, your entity, your whatever you do, your meme, your themes, and you can actually turn that into something where you can accept money. This is not accept crypto. This is not what you think. So you can put in .crypto, .nft, .x, .wallet, .bitcoin, .dao, .888, .zil, ZIL, .blockchain, whatever name you want. So I want to show you make it up. It doesn't matter. I just didn't make it up, whatever. Here's the prices. Here's the difference. And the major thing here that people don't realize is all of these are on a blockchain. Polygon blockchain if you choose, because you get free mint on the Polygon blockchain. So these are on the blockchain. If you want to put a video up, it's on the blockchain. Guess what? There is no ISP that can take it down. If you want to put up a website on the blockchain, nobody can take it down. That feature in itself is what makes this awesome. Here's the second feature, though. Most people have websites, and you have to pay what? An annual fee for the domain name. And then you have to pay a annual fee or a monthly fee for your hosting. And then if you want an SSL certificate, and then if you want something else, well, guess what? You can run a website, you can run video, you can put pictures on your dot whatever, NFT, dot wallet, dot blockchain, dot crypto. But the Black Friday sale, 2 for the price of 1. So you see here where it has $20 for the .NFT, $20 for the wallet. I cannot buy the blockchain for $10, the blockchain for 10, and then my next free one, it will not be the wallet. It has to be the reverse. Whatever the most expensive one is that you want to buy, that's what the first one, that's what the price is going to be. So on the November 28th, which I will remind you, do not buy now, even though I do have a link down below. In fact, use my link down below, register, sign up, make sure you have opened up your account. It's simple, just like if you're opening up an email, but use my link down below, Unstoppable Domain, register. November 28th comes, that's the day to buy your domains and get 2 for 1. That's what you're going to do, all right? Or you can just say, hell, it's $20, let me get it. Or $10, let me get it. Take your pick, but I'm just letting you know on November 28th, it's 2 for 1. It's coming out. So you have no excuse, and this accepts 300 coins and tokens. So you no longer have to tell somebody, oh, yeah, hold on, let me get you my QR code, or let me give you my alphanumeric link. No, you could just say your name dot crypto, your name dot wallet, send the crypto there. And most people are going to say, okay, I'm going to send you Ethereum. And you're like, okay, whatever. Because they do the top 300, which, most people are going to send them, whatever, the Maddox, the AVAX, they're not going to go off into one of these altcoin, deep into the altcoin space. They're going to send one that's, probably the top 20. So you just say, hey, okay, whatever, you send it. I'm ready. You just say ericbird.crypto. All right, send it. What do you mean, Eric Bird? That's the address, ericbird.crypto. That's the address. mycompany.crypto. That's the address. I don't need to give you QRs. I don't need to send you whatever. It's mycompany.crypto, my name.crypto, or whatever you want to make it. So think about that, ladies and gentlemen. Again, you're putting yourself in a powerful position, and that's a transaction. Keep that in mind. We're not even dealing with PayPal anymore. We're not dealing with Cash App. We're not dealing with none of these guys. You're sending it direct to my wallet. And Unstoppable Domain, actually, you actually put in the background, you're putting in a wallet address. So it can go to your Ledger, Trezor, MetaMask, wherever you want to send it. That's where it is going to go. That's where it's routed through to. All right. So that is what's so cool about it. So I'm giving you ericbird.crypto, but that's not actually the wallet it's going to be residing in. How cool is that? So I'm just saying, another layer of protection. I like protection. All right. So hopefully that helps you out, ladies and gentlemen. 1 hour, 43 minutes in. Let me know if you have any other questions and want to talk about anything else, because again, don't miss tomorrow at noon. I'm going to be running a live stream. In fact, you can sign up right now. Make sure you get notified, because you don't want to miss it. It has to do with the cash flow NFT. I already dropped a video earlier about the DebtBox node. All right. And that is when they're in Ghana. Crypto meets commodities. Ghana. Part 1. Part 2 is going to be dropped tomorrow. So you don't want to miss that, because actually I have Jason Alexander, the CEO, the founder, who was in this video starting out explaining how the DebtBox is buying all this, getting up to 10,000 jobs, and their royalty fees that's coming in. Those royalties, again, goes to, if you have a GROW token, the royalties that they receive, the profit they receive, they share, they buy the GROW token on the open market, then they burn it. That increases value. So that's what's pretty sweet, right? And these are real world businesses. This isn't some fly by night. The video I dropped earlier today, late night, that had to show you the engineer was talking. Come to find out, 2 other companies on the planet are even attempting this. One company was in Ukraine. They haven't heard from them. The other company is, the technology is far behind. So these guys, first movers, they're out the box, and you can see they're aggressive. They're all over the world looking for that, hunting down that royalty deal, hunting down that partnership. I like this because they're selling so many licenses. That's giving them the room to sit here and actually hunt and search. And so the engineer was explaining in the video I dropped today that they were in Ghana explaining to these guys, let me show you here. And he showed them, here's what the satellite scanner shows. This is where the stuff, the precious metals are. And they're in disbelief. Next thing you know, they're back in Ghana because they got approved by the government to say, okay, we can do business with you because this looks legitimate. So now that means they're first people movers. Once they do that one deal, the floodgates open. So now more people are going to be looking at them, whether you're trying to get a license or whether you want to be in business with them as an exploration company paying for the XPLR to use their satellite system or that technology, which helps us because people who are holding the XPLR tokens, they'll be burning the profits and the royalties they receive for that token. So again, we're putting ourselves in position because if this works, and it is working because it's already working, they already have royalty deals and burning and doing what they got to do. We're on the ground floor. 1, 2 rigs, 2 oil rigs. The scanner system can already found in Nebraska, or not Nebraska, but not Las Vegas, but in Nevada. They've already found the largest natural gas deposit in North America. That is why the natural gas token was selling so fast. That's why it's $7,500. And they found platinum and rhodium. And they found water, which they're not going to use except for the drilling. And they found, it's not, I want to say bauxite, but it's not. It's some other materials that's not even, that they don't even use in their ecosystem for a license, which they might, because that's also one of the largest deposits of whatever. I can't remember the material. It's something that's off the wall. But they found all this in Nevada. They have 4%. They're in partnership. They have 4% of what they found. $6.6 billion, ladies and gentlemen. So just to give you an idea, 10%, that would be $600 million, right? 5% would be $300 million. So these guys are over about $200 million, if my numbers are right. 2.4, no, it's going to be like $300 million because it's 6.6. I was just using 6 trillion. Sorry. Trillion. I'm sorry. Trillion. Did you hear me? I'm just messing with you. It's not trillion. All right. I'm just messing. It's 6.6 trillion. 6.6 billion is what the number is for what they found. But they also found something else in another location that's 1.7 trillion using their satellite scan system. I don't know what the percentage is because they didn't disclose it, but they have a royalty agreement. So the royalty agreement is probably, who knows, 3, 4, 5% as well. I don't know what it could be 10. I don't know what it is. But the fact is they have revenues coming in based on what they're extracting from the ground. And so far they're pinpointing this stuff. All right. So just to let you know, if you can get on ground floor and something like this, it doesn't come along that often. It's something like this. I'll give another story, which I don't even know if I've told this story before. I'm sitting at my desk at my office, and this friend of mine comes in, and she starts talking like hey, there's a winery in Lodi, California. There's a winery, and they're taking, you can invest in the winery. And I'm listening, and I'm like, I always wanted a winery. I was like, I always wanted a winery. What the hell? This is awesome. And, but I'm thinking, okay, look, this 200, 300,000 stuff ain't going to happen. They're like, oh, no. It's not that. They're giving you stock shares, and it's that's how it is. It's starting. So you can put in whatever you want. Well, 1,000 or 500. I can't remember what it was, but I think 1,000 was the least you can put in or whatever. But the point of the matter is, you're just sitting there. A friend comes up, says, yeah, Lodi. Now, remember, this is California. There's Napa. There's Lodi. Napa Valley is the number one spot, and most people know. Lodi was just like, get out of here with this. But Lodi is up the street from Sacramento. So I was like, okay, let me go down here and check this out. Here was their little niche. The little niche went like this. Under $10 was all of the wines. You guys know what under $10 wines, used to taste like. Pretty much garbage. So, I mean, I shouldn't say it was look, most under 10 is not that good. There are going to be some, but most aren't. So anyhow, so I go down, we taste the wine in the wine tasting room, and I'm sitting there like, wait, this can't be. I was like, this didn't come from here. And they're just like smiling, and I'm like, this is like Napa wine. This doesn't taste like Lodi wine. And they were like, yeah, exactly. And so then I'm just like, well, I thought you guys said all the wines are going to be under $10, because this definitely does not taste like a $10 wine. And they're like, yeah, they are. And they started showing me the stuff, and they're just like, look, this one's actually $7.99. This one's like $9.99. I was just like in shock. They had like 5 to 6 different varietals. And I'm sitting there like, oh my God. Ground zero at that time to get into a winery for a few $1,000s, ladies and gentlemen. So you have to be at the right place at the right time. Opportunity doesn't come along. Are you going to take the risk? We taking the risk. That's what life is. So we take a risk. So I'm just giving you those ideas. So we're going to wrap this up tonight. Hopefully you guys understand, and hopefully the conversation that I was presenting is helpful to you. But down below, if you want your free stocks from Robinhood and Webull, please use the links down below. If you already have Robinhood and Webull, make sure that you share your referral link, because Webull has something crazy. They're giving you 20 fractional shares if you refer somebody before the end of the month, maybe even 30 fractional shares. And I got a fractional share of Apple, of all things. Unbelievable. When I saw the AAPL, I was like, oh, that's cool. Fractional, not a full share, fractional, but I got like 12 or 15 of fractional shares, not all Apple. There were other companies too. But all I'm saying is, if you already have Robinhood, okay, they give you 1 share for referring somebody. But if you have Webull, and millions of people do, you have family and friends this holiday season, then share your Webull app. Now they can also get 10, 12, 5, whatever it is. I think they get 12 shares of stock, but they have to deposit 1 cent or more to get additional. Like, I think you get 2 to 5 shares, and then if you deposit more, then you get another 10 or 12. But right now they have promotions. Black Friday's here. Companies are trying to rock and roll. This is the make or break retail season, the make or break getting customers in. So find all these deals. All right. And that's it, ladies and gentlemen. I'm going to wrap it up a little early. I'm going to see you tomorrow. I'll have a live stream again at noon. That'll be the cash flow NFT regarding the Ghana. And then we'll get into the cash flow NFT program after that Zoom call. And of course, we'll talk about it and get you into the Ring of Fire and the SSN. If you can't afford the NFT and don't want to refer people to get commission for it, then you have a third way, which is with us here in the SSN Lifestyle sister property that we have. And with all that said, ladies and gentlemen, thank you for watching. Thank you for listening. And please like, subscribe, and click the bell below so you get the latest updates. And I know it's hard out here. And that's why I just have these discussions on a Friday night. On Monday night, too. Don't forget our Money Making Monday live stream. Please join us again, because there's a lot of the fallout's going to happen over the next 3 days regarding the FTX debacle. But also the Ghana story will continue, and the new information that's going to come out at noon tomorrow for Cashflow NFT. These are powerful, ladies and gentlemen. You have a chance to be in on ground zero before everybody sits there and finds out about it. And then they're going to find out that you're not going to be able to buy these licenses for the debt box for $1,500 or $2,500 or $6,000. You're going to find these where people are going to have to spend 20 grand or 15 grand, especially when the NFT starts kicking off, or the stores, and they add more stores. And now you're receiving your quarterly payout could be $5,000. And now all of a sudden, how much is that NFT really worth? It's going to increase in value. So again, that's something that you have to consider. And you have the opportunity here. Any other opportunities, let me know. Because as far as I know, these are the top 2 #1 opportunities for 2023, besides buying a home in 2023, after July and on. You consider buying it then, not now, then, or pre-construction right now. Because again, if you guys haven't seen, I dropped 2 videos, what's happening at Vista Kana, the luxury villas. A villa in Vista Kana, you used to be able to buy under $200,000. Even in Oasis del Lago, they were originally $189, $175, whatever. Even at Oasis del Lago, the cheapest villa now is $400,000. And everybody who bought it, like Dynamis, Bliss Trail, Panorama Garden at the park, Ventura Golf Suites in the villas, all these were under $250,000. They're selling the new luxury villas, which aren't so luxury in my opinion, but some of the features are, but it's $550,000, $600,000 for villas now in Vista Kana at these locations. And at Oasis del Lago, they're selling theirs for $450,000, $500,000, $600,000 as well. So congratulations, everybody. You're still going to win. But the window is closing. If you want to get something under 300,000, that's going to be 1,500, 1,800, 2,000 square feet, you're going to have to buy like in the next 6 months. That's what I'm going to tell you. After this next 6 months, even in the pre-construction market, due to material cost, the prices are going to, they're not going to charge you $250. So right now, Primavera 4, they have a Black Friday sale, November 18th today until the end of the month. You can do 2 things at Primavera 4. The reason why I like Primavera 4, they have a beach in their complex. They have a clubhouse, which means they have a restaurant and they have a bar. They have a soccer field, they have a tennis court, a soccer field and a basketball court. They have a playground for kids, and they have it throughout their development. But that's not the main thing. The main thing is a 2,500 square foot villa is $250,000. The same 2,500 square foot duplex luxury villa, they're calling it, but it's a duplex, $350,000, and it's smaller in Vista Kana. Oh, Primavera 4 is on the other side of the fence, pretty much, of Vista Kana. Not that it's in the same complex, but they're on the opposite side. They're in the same area. The point I'm trying to make is the days of getting a 2,500 square foot place that you can change into a 4-bedroom, 4.5 bath that has a pool is going to go away. Those days are going to be over. You can get a 2,000 square foot place for like $200,000. You can also get a 2,000 square foot townhome for like $175,000. All that's available right now at Primavera 4, Primavera 3, Primavera Luxury. Just letting you know, because that opportunity is going to be gone in about 6 months. Actually, it's going to be gone probably in about 4 months, 3 months actually, but you got decisions to make. That's long-term investing, but you're going to have to pre-construction, no credit check, no qualifying, you can get in. All right, just to give you an idea. Now, let's get on with our other plan. 2 hours in, and I'm going to be done. Smash the like button. And if you like what I'm talking about, please subscribe to the channel. Click the all notification bell. Let's get into the other thing, the future. Here's your other future. If you are thinking about buying a house, wait until 6 months minimum. No, 8 months minimum. It has to be after July of next year. If you can wait a year, prices should be going 50, 60%. They could get worse. All right. So take your time. No reason to catch a falling knife. The only way, I don't know how they can be saved, but I just don't see it. Builders are walking away from their homes, or rising foreclosures. The value of people that bought a home in the last 2 years, they're below their loan values. I just see a whole bunch of millions of homes being walked away, done with. I'm not going to pay. And especially if things drop to 30, 40% of value, people are going to be like, wait, my loan is $200,000 more than my home is worth. People will walk away and mess up their credit, because you can always repair your credit. I mean, that's not major. You put enough down payment, you can buy a home anyhow. But all I'm saying is, the thing is, that's your next frontier. People here that's been here already know this. The psychology behind it and the actual real behind it is this. If you can buy a house that you like and they cost $500,000 and you can buy them at $250,000, isn't that much better? And some people are going to say, Eric, but the interest rate's going to be 10%. Do the numbers. Would you rather buy a house at $500,000 at 7.2, 7.5%? Or would you rather buy a $250,000 house at 10%? Run the numbers. That's all I'm going to say. Numbers don't lie. The benefit of buying the house at the lower rate with the higher interest rate is because when the feds do their thing to help protect the top 10% and the wealthiest by reducing the interest rate, so their loans would be more valuable, but their loans will be less, so they can get a higher loan to go buy up more assets. Well, we get to take advantage, because that means when they reduce the interest rates, we get to refi. And once we start refining, that means our mortgage is going to be reduced substantially. So imagine buying a house for $250,000 and then 2 years later, the interest rate is 5%. You could reduce your interest rate half. That's significant. And then if they do their crazy stuff and go down to 2.75 like they did before, 3%, well, then you just do it again. And make sure when you do your first loan, you make sure if you sell early, there's no points. So then that way you're not penalized. That's what you shop around. You say, hey, I'm not paying points if I pay this loan off in 2 years or 3 years or 5 years. I don't want to hear anything. I don't want you to tell me, oh, I get 2%, 3%. I mean, like, no, I already gave you points up front. What are you talking about? So negotiate. All right. That's on all loans. Negotiate, because you could have a situation where this could be rapid. In 2 years, you could have homes back up to the prices that they were in some people say in 2022. So you could have bought a home at $250,000. Now all of a sudden, 2024, 2025, the home is worth $600,000. You could have $250,000, $350,000 equity. And tapping that equity to get you more passive income is what your goal is in a short period of time. And you'll be able to do it just by that. So you have a couple of arms and a couple of legs that you can put out there and say, this is what I can do. So hopefully that helps you out, ladies and gentlemen. And please join me tomorrow afternoon. Please watch the videos about Ghana if you want to join. The links are down below in the description for both the IX Global to buy your own DebtBox node and get a license. The link is there. You'll be in the holding tank. So send me a message at support@stopstrugglingnow.com. And I got to release you out the holding tank. But they have that because I got to place you. And then if you can't afford the license, but you want to get involved, then we have a link down below for the SSN Lifestyle, the 2250 XPLR node, where it's $250 minimum that you can put in. And it's increments of that. So you have to put in 250, 500, 750, take your pick, up to $1,250. And the percentage you put in is the percentage of rewards that you will receive. All right. And everybody who's in the first group opportunity, you guys are going to have to think about something. With the actual profit, the new nodes coming out in December and January are going to be $1,000. Do you want to parlay the profits into $1,000 and buy that node and now have two nodes with no money coming out of your pocket now that you're seeing what they're doing in Ghana? Think about it, right? Because you'll be able to get a debt token in December. I'm giving you guys some advance. So everybody who stays here gets the bonus. They're going to have a debt token because they're going to have a debt blockchain added. Right now, they're mining from the EGI pool based on when people actually buy and sell their tokens. Part of that buy and sell goes into the EGI pool. So that's where the mining's coming from. They're actually going to have a debt chain, debt token. They already have a debt token, but they're going to have a debt node, so to speak. So that's going to be 1,000, I hear. In January, they're going to have another oil token because guess where the oil is? Ghana. So that's oil node license. And they're saying that's going to be $1,000. So there's going to be two. Well, by the time, if you guys want to do something, I'm just letting you know now. I'll see what people want to say. But we have enough now to buy either one of those tokens when the time comes in the back office with change left over. All right. So now Marrero used to ask about compounding. How do you compound? There's more than one way to compound. You put money in, you reinvest your dividends. In this case, we're talking about stocks earlier. You reinvest your stocks. That's kind of compounding. What do you do with the rewards from mining? You reinvest into another license. Instead of one, you have two. Both of them are doing 24-hour mining. And if the company grows and blows up, guess what happens? Everyone is going to be doing very, very good. How long? We don't know. But 10 years is what the license is held for. That's how long the NFT is supposed to run. If this goes accordingly, this would be a good thing because that means they're burning a lot of tokens from the profit. So the token price could be who knows what, but we do know this. The actual NFT that it turns into after it's sold out is going to be worth something. So if somebody said, hey, you get, like right now, in 3 months, it's over 1,000, right? So if every 3 months you got 1,000, that'd be $4,000 per year. In essence. So how much is $4,000 a year worth? I would say 40, 50,000, right? So actually the license is worth 40 or 50,000 if you had a valuation easily. And that would be giving somebody 10% return. If we start doing 5% return, then it's worth 80,000, a real estate deal. 5% cap rate is what people are used to with real estate deals in like places like California, right? Arizona. If you're lucky. So if you do a higher cap rate or lower cap rate, then it's $80,000 is what that node or license is worth. That's a 5% return. See how Excuse me. See how simple that works. All right. Hopefully that gives you a little extra bonus material to think about, ladies and gentlemen. But please check all the links down below, all the information. Sign up with our social media. Please. I have been dropping some information, some motivation. I dropped some news. One of the news, in fact, let me go look at this because since I'm talking about a couple of projects, let me see. I wanted to tell you, I posted this on our social media and on our group, our Facebook group. But let me see. What was it? It was the debt box node. I thought it was the cash flow, but it was a debt box node. Somebody spent $1 million right here. $1 million for 500 XPLR nodes. The reason why somebody did that, in case you don't understand, is it's a scanner system, and this is what makes their whole debt box ecosystem work. Come to find out from the engineer, they can actually figure out the best soil. Unbelievable what they have going on with this. Unbelievable. If you missed a video I dropped earlier today, check out what the engineer's saying. You're going to be like, holy smoke. And actually, I edited down. It's probably an extra 3 minutes, 4 minutes, but I didn't want this thing to go an extra 4 or 5 minutes because it was already 20 some minutes. Tomorrow, I'm going to be playing the video, making another one with the video from the CEO and the guy, Jason, that was talking earlier about all the agriculture and what they're doing in the ecosystem. So that's going to be tomorrow. I'll drop that. But see you at noon, everybody. If you're going to want to find out about the cash flow NFT and our cash flow NFT, we're at $2,500 in the group economic plan at SSN Lifestyle. If you want to get in, you better get in because we're halfway to the 5,000 and you can pay with USDT on multiple chains. You can pay with your Visa, MasterCard checking account through PayPal. And everything that we do as a group economic plan, your money is locked. In other words, whatever you put in, it's not liquid. You can't just say, hey, I put in whatever, 500 and I want to withdraw it because it's locked. We can't withdraw it. All we earn is rewards from the tokens in one case, and the other one, we earn part of the profits from the membership for Cashflow NFT. So we can't just take it out. So once it's in, it's in. There are other arrangements we can do, of course. Somebody could say, does somebody want to buy my whatever, my piece? That could be a thing, but all I'm saying is it's locked. So it's not liquid. Nothing you can do about it. It's in there. But you do earn all the rewards, all the monies, and all that, all worthwhile. All right, ladies and gentlemen, thank you so much again. Smash the like button, share everything. I love you guys. Thank you so much for your support. Subscribers, members with the icon, financially supporting. Thank you so much. And everybody who's new here, thank you so much for being here, watching what I have to say. And if you ever have any comments, you can always put them in the chat room, or after this video runs on replay, you can put in, ask any questions in the comment section. However we want to help you, that's what we do here. All right? The No Guru Zone. There is no course code down below. Some people might know who I'm talking about. There's none of that. All right? We're actually here trying to help you and giving you some options to make a little bit of extra funds. So then that way you can live a little bit better life, because it's going to get harder and harder, because the rich are going to get richer, the poor is going to get poorer, and those of us in between, the way the money flows, we have to put ourselves in a position where we're not going to rely on the old traditional system. We want to put ourselves in a way where we are earning outside of the system. So when we have a debt box, when we have a cash flow NFT, when we have a way to earn 15% on dividends, you got to grab those when you can, because they're not going to be around when the economy's good. Those dividend rates aren't going to be that high. But because you bought in now you could have those high dividend rates because you bought in now. You were here when there was only one store in Amsterdam, Holland for Miracle Cash and More. You were here when there was only 2 oil rigs, one in Nevada, one in Nebraska. And now they have 5, right? Not now, but I'm just saying in the future, they're going to have 3 because they're going to have the next one is going to be in Ghana. That's when the next license are coming out. Then the next one, next oil field in Ghana or the next one wherever in Africa. Then there's another. You're going to be able to tell people, I was there when they only had 1 or 2 of these things. Can you imagine growing up in the era of Amazon, Tesla, Microsoft, Apple, and being there, Facebook, when people were saying, yeah, man, I could have bought their shares for $2 and I didn't. This is what it's like. But who knew they were going to survive, right? We don't. You're taking a risk. So only put in what you can afford to lose. And with all that said, let me see if anybody made any further comments. Oh, we had a late entry. I stayed here too long. It looks like I stayed here perfectly, right? Tim Smith is in the house. Welcome to the SSN Nation Friday night live stream with the icon next to his name. And he's saying good night, all. Thank you so much, Tim Smith, for being here. Hopefully you got a lot of that. But hopefully I'll see you guys and everyone else at noon tomorrow and on Monday night at 8:50 p.m., noon Eastern time. Monday, 8:50 Eastern time. And again, like I said earlier, stay the course, ladies and gentlemen. No matter how good or how bad it gets, don't jump for joy too high. Don't jump for joy too low. Just stay even keeled and stay the course and put your duffel bag of cash to work for you with low risk, not high risk anymore. No Dows, no 1% a day, no 3% every 5 days, none of that. We have to go for real world stuff. And we're not saying the real world stuff is still going to work, but at least they're actual businesses. We're not just not going after something that is a startup. All right. So let's go, ladies and gentlemen. We're going to make it happen. And you guys already have been making it happen. I'm just waiting to see what's going to happen in 2024. On the other side of all this madness, I'm going to be like, can we believe what's happened? Can we believe it? And I'm going to sit there and say yes, because we made our bullets count from 2022 or 2000 to 2023. All the bullets were counting and we put ourselves in a position. So congratulations, everybody. Let's go. All right. And with all that said, keep your head up, keep moving, and I'm out.